In this example, we have Spider-Man jumping down for a 32-foot high platform. His height in feet is modeled by the equation f of x equals negative 16x squared plus 16x plus 32, where x is time in seconds. When will he reach the ground? So just as a picture reference, we have Spider-Man on this platform. He's jumping up and down to the ground level. So typically, when you're talking about a word problem, 0 is the height of the ground. That's typically how things are referenced. Unless otherwise stated, ground is usually a good reference point to be 0. And by the fact that it says 32 feet high platform, we're going to be referencing that from the ground. So, with all that in mind, if we're trying to find when he reaches the ground, in this equation models height, we want to know where negative 16x squared plus 16x plus 32 is equal to 0. So where his height is 0. To solve this, we just go through and do zero product properties. So we need a factor first. So looking at all three terms, 16 goes into all three. And even more so, since the leading coefficient is negative, we want to pull out negative 16. We'll divide each term by negative 16, giving us a positive x squared, negative 1x, or just negative x, and then negative 2. We're going to continue factoring the trinomial that's in parentheses. So it's not a pattern. So we'll multiply first and last and do the grouping. So negative 2x squared. Combination of factors are just 1 and 2. Because it has to add up to be negative 1. We want the 2 to be negative. Since there's no longer a leading coefficient, we can use the shortcut and skip steps 3 and 4. Factoring this out as x plus 1 and x minus 2. We can't forget our negative 16 and equal to 0. Now this is not a factor question, this is a solve question, so we're not quite done. We need to next apply zero product property to set each of our factors equal to 0. Our first factor is negative 16. Second one is x plus 1. And third one is x minus 2. I'll solve each of these equations. Well, negative 16 can't equal 0. Subtract 1 from both sides. X equals negative 1. Add 2 to both sides. X equals 2. This is a real-life situation, though, so some of our answers may not make sense. Remember, x is time in seconds, and he's jumping technically at 0 seconds. So, if we say negative 1 seconds, that means 1 second before he jumps, he hits the ground. He hasn't jumped yet, so he can't hit the ground yet. So this doesn't really make sense in our situation. So the answer we are going to want is our positive answer, which is 2 seconds.